I remember going in to tell my principal at school, I was in the 4th grade, and I said, I'm moving to Clearwater, South Carolina. And he said, no, baby. I looked on the map, there's no such place. I only see Clearwater, Florida. And I was very upset with my daddy for moving us to a place that wasn't on the map.
Reverend James Ivey, called Jim by some, arrived in Aiken County with his family after working for cotton mills in the upstate. The Union, South Carolina native, husband and father, was not unlike any other family at that time, working hard to take care of those he loved. But Ivey, as his daughter Diane Ivey Waller explains, had a heart that cared for others too.
My dad left United Merchants, surrendered to the ministry, and became a full-time minister in 1961. That changed everything.
Teenage Diane Ivey remembers leaving her then upper-middle-class neighborhood in the Woodridge development and transitioning to a life with no income. Reverend Ivey stopped working at the Seminole Mill, the job that first brought him and his family to the CSRA, and turned to pastoring. In 1963, he began leading the flock at Edgewood Baptist Church on Old Edgefield Road, where a Captain D's now stands. He later retired from ministry and opened stores in Aiken County. He was selling used furniture at one of his businesses in 1998 when someone took his life.
October 9th, it was on a Friday morning.
Did you talk to him that morning?
I did not. I had seen him the Sunday before. We had actually gone to Union for our family reunion. And as he was leaving, he turned to me and he said, be careful going home. And he did his hand like this and he said, bye, I love you.
This incident report from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office details the armed robbery murder that went down at Jim's used furniture store that day on Jefferson Davis Highway in Langley. Witness Wayne Davis, a 37-year-old man also from Aiken County, told police a man came inside the store, pushed him, and began hitting Ivey. Davis says he took out his stun gun and hit the man, attacking Ivey with it. But he shoved him away, and Davis dropped his weapon. So he grabbed a frying pan to hit the suspect with, but that's when the man picked up a knife, using it to stab Ivey. Davis says he continued hitting the attacker, but he got away. So, who is this mystery man who walked into a furniture store and grabbed weapons from inside to kill in broad daylight? Davis says it was a black man with stubby facial hair, a t-shirt, and jeans, and green gloves.
I don't know why, if there was a witness, why he was still alive. I don't understand why he left the premises, went home, changed clothes, and came back.
I drove around North Augusta and Aiken hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. On the weekends, looking for that car. I never found it. I looked. I drove around with that composite sketch in my van for 3 years.
A late model black Ford Mustang. Another description Davis gave police, and even added that he hopped in his own car to chase the suspect. But the family has a hard time believing any parts of that story.
Why somebody would do that to a member of, a clergy member, somebody that gave so much to his community.
I really think that it started as a money collection and escalated.
So for nearly 23 years, the Ivey family has suffered through this reality, and a more terrifying one. Thoughts that Reverend Ivey's own son and his new wife and her son, his stepson, all estranged members of the family, could have played a part.
In 1998, they were both on drugs, needy, and they always went to daddy.
We were told that by her stepmother that the person had been killed in the progress of another crime.
In Texas.
And yeah, I didn't know the Texas part. And that the investigator came and showed her a picture and said, this was the man that murdered your husband.
While Ivey's wife, Margie Hemsley Ivey, told the family the case was closed, it was not, only elevating suspicion that she may have been hiding something along with her troubled son and stepson. And while no family should play detective, this one says they are, because Aiken County Sheriff's Office did not.
They did zero work. They did zero follow-up. They didn't do their job at all.
The Cold Case Project tried to track down witness Wayne Davis based on his location and date of birth on the incident report. But a man in Warrenville with that same birth date now appears to have a death date, June 1st, 2008, almost 10 years after that fatal run-in with Reverend Ivey. This leaves no other eyewitnesses, only people in the Langley area that day. But the family is left with memories to cherish. For Jamie Clayton, who was 27 when the murder happened, his is the honor to carry on his grandfather's name and sport he once coached, America's favorite pastime.
He never got to see my son play baseball.
For Waller, it's the plain Jim she will miss, the one always dressed in coveralls and an orange cap. He was 71 when he was killed, the same age she is now.
My dad and I were diagnosed with cancer 3 weeks apart in 1992, and we fought together and made it through. And now I've fought 3 more times and made it through, and I would have loved to have had my dad there with me. So, closure, not so much, but boy, I sure would like for somebody to be held responsible. I'd like to sit across from that person and say, this is what you took from me.
You stole a grandfather, you stole a father, you stole a husband, you stole a reverend, a business owner, a pillar in the community. You stole a lot of stuff as opposed to $100, whatever you got out of his back pocket.
Anyone with any information about the murder of Reverend James Ivey should call the Aiken County Sheriff's Office at 803-648-6811. Next time on the Cold Case Project, we take you to Edgefield County, where Larry Sanders Jr. was killed inside his home. What his family and law enforcement need to get justice and close the case.